Welcome to Maine's 2021 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. Names will be read at a later date. Service. When the word comes to mind, what does it mean to you? To me, when I think of the word service, I envision a person or a group of people working to reach the ultimate goal of helping someone or something. So as you take your first steps into being inducted into NHS, I want to ask, what are you going to do to create that positive change? But keep in mind that service doesn't have to be this huge project or big event that you plan, and that service comes in many different shapes and forms. So even though you may think your small acts of service don't make as much of a difference, in the long run, they do. What really matters in those small acts of service is dedication. When we dedicate ourselves to a cause, that's when we see a real impact in the acts of service we do. Another quality of service that this honor society values is selflessness. As a member of NHS, something you realize is that service isn't about yourself, but the people or things that you're helping. What I mean is that if you're doing an act of service to get a reward out of it, what are you learning from the experience? It's our mission to look deep down into our core and figure out why we are doing these acts of service, and that in the end, you realize the real reward is knowing you did something right in the world, and that you don't need validation or recognition for doing it. If 2020 has taught me anything, it's that when it comes to service, adaptability is extremely important. As all of you are entering NHS at an extremely unique time, being adaptable is going to be important because the future is truly unknown, and it's going to be up to you to come up with solutions to the problems that are put forth. Although the unknown may seem daunting, I want you all to be excited for everything to come, and that whatever happens in the near future, have faith that you will be ready to take on any challenge head on. Thank you.
To the new inductees of the National Honor Society at Maine West High School, I imagine you expect me to begin this speech with congratulations, which are, of course, in order. We congratulate one another when we reach a goal or achieve a milestone. As you know from the name of the organization you are joining tonight, we are here to celebrate your achievements and your contributions to your school and to your community, to honor you for who you are. You join those who have come before you at Maine West and across the country in a prestigious group of similarly impressive young people who have likewise contributed and achieved great things. In that spirit, with pride and joy, and on behalf of our entire Warrior staff, I congratulate you on this achievement, which I am sure many of you have had as a goal for some time. After my heartfelt congratulations for what you have done, however, is a solemn thank you for what you will do. However you may have thought about National Honor Society if you did set this goal when you were a freshman, I hope tonight you come to understand it not as a crowning achievement, but as a call to action. You know well that you are coming of age in an era that is crowded with crises competing for our attention. This is not a chapter they will skip in future U.S. history courses. You know well that the crises I speak of have been years in the making and will require years of hard work to resolve. Congratulations, that hard work falls to you. Thank you for in joining National Honor Society. You are telling us at Maine West and in this nation that you are ready to serve. Recent months and even days have challenged us to find sources of hope. These are plentiful when we know where to look, and those of you in this program tonight have been the best sources of hope for those of us here at Maine West. Lately, I have been finding myself thinking more about faith, which is more active than hope. Faith, wherever it comes from, is a vision around which you organize your life. It is a source of action. As we offer you membership in National Honor Society, we are giving you our faith. As you take the oath, you are giving us a commitment to act. This commitment is timely, necessary, and will require difficult things from you. Thank you for making it. On behalf of the staff at Maine West High School, congratulations on your induction into National Honor Society.
Good evening, soon-to-be members of NHS, parents, staff, or anyone else listening to this. Tonight, I have been given the monumental task of explaining what scholarship is to a group of brilliant overachievers. Many of you might already be familiar with what it is. Scholarship represents a student's dedication to academic achievement and the acquisition of knowledge. And on the surface, this is probably a fairly recognizable concept to all of us. You know, in our grind for homework and extracurriculars and everything like that. It seems to be a fairly linear path that we've taken to get good grades, take hard classes, and do well on standardized tests. And so far, we've all traveled this path well. But this path isn't really linear forever. There are divergences in the road ahead. Choices like, what do you want to study? What college do you want to go to? Or more importantly, what are you actually going to make of all this knowledge that you've gained so far? So tonight, as I congratulate you on making it to this milestone in your high school careers, I want to remind you that it's just that, a milestone. So far, we've worked tirelessly to lay a base of knowledge that serves as a blueprint for the world around you. What you build from that foundation, what you make of all this knowledge, that's what will end up being the true test of your scholarship. When the road ahead becomes uncertain and unclear, your dedication to making a difference is what will truly shine through. And that's what I'd like to think the torch, the symbol of NHS, that's what it's really all about. I know there have been countless late nights spent studying and countless mornings summoning every ounce of energy to get out of bed in the morning. I know there have been tsunami-sized panic attacks, earthquake-level tantrums to get this far. I know. But I also know that there will be many more of them. But as soon to be inducted members of NHS, we trust in your path ahead. So prove us right. Make us proud. Do great things. Thank you.
What does character mean? Some might say that character is your personality and how reliable and honest you are. For National Honor Society members, it's so much more. A National Honor Society member demonstrates qualities such as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, as well as core values of integrity, involvement, and achievement. In your life, you will keep on experiencing situations where your morals and values will be tested. Character is how you act in a situation rather than just saying you will do something. Speaking up about discrimination, harassment, stealing, and toxic culture. It's easy just to say you would act and speak up, but until you're actually in that situation, you may never know how you actually act. One time in elementary school, there was a boy getting picked on for no reason. Some kids called him weird, stupid, and annoying. The boy felt sad and confused. He would isolate himself at recess and lunch because he was scared of the other kids. Later that week, a couple of friends who didn't know the boy stepped up. They invited him to play at recess and eat lunch together. When the mean kids would try to talk to the boy again, the new friends would stand up for him. Even though the friends didn't know the boy, they saw that he was hurt and needed someone to comfort him. The true test of character will not be if you respond, but how you respond. As you continue to make difficult decisions in your life, these choices will be joined together by others who will make a valuable effort and judgment on yourself. The choices you make will tell us everything we need to know about your character, so make the right ones in life.
I want to start off by congratulating all of you for making it this far. You wrote your applications and the committee scrutinized you, looking over your volunteer service, your academic performance and your responses, and now you're sitting in front of me here in the auditorium, or rather at home on your Chromebooks. But my point is this. the committee clearly saw something special in you and thought that your potential ability to contribute to your community, in addition to the contributions you've already made, weren't giving you the status of being a member of NHS. And that's why in defining leadership, I want to read you all a particular quote by Nelson Mandela. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. And so, what I want you to understand is this. Courage and leadership are two very intrinsically connected things. And the moment we're living in right now is one where that connection is truer than ever. And so, just as Mandela wrote, there's lots of reasons to have fear right now. Fear of the circumstances we find ourselves in. I'm sure that the virus has affected all of you and that you're afraid for the health of your family, of your grandparents, and of anyone at risk. And I also know that a lot of you likely have fear for your family's financial situation. And it's human for you to have that fear. But that's why I challenge you all, as do the other officers, to conquer that fear and to triumph over it. Because now is the time for you all to be leaders. You've all proven that you're distinguished members of our school and that you have the power and the potential to help our community to overcome the crises that we find ourselves knee-deep in. Whether it's making sure that all your senior neighbors are getting their groceries, or phone banking voters hundreds of miles away to do their civic duty and vote. It could even be organizing an information campaign to educate community members about the safety of vaccines, so that you can be on the front lines battling misinformation and making our community safer. But in order for any of these things to happen, you have to have the courage to be a leader. And if you don't see anybody doing any of these things, then that means it's up to you to have that courage, to step up to the plate and get the ball rolling. And I know that all of you are smart, and you probably have some big, brilliant ideas in your head. But now I'm asking you to take them out of there and make them a reality. Because that's the only way we can triumph over the fear that surrounds us. You have to be a leader, and you have to put in the work. Which is what I know you'll do, and which is why I'm so immensely proud of all of you. Thank you.
I pledge
to maintain my high school standing,
to hold as fundamental and worthy an untarnished character, to endeavor tolerantly and courageously to be a leader,
and to give of myself freely in service to others.
In so doing, I shall prove myself
worthy
worthy
of a place
in the National
Honor
Honor
Society.
Society.
Good evening. I hope the new members have taken the officers' words to heart. They speak from experience and they personify what it means to serve. On evenings like this one, it's understandable to feel you've made it into the National Honor Society and the difficult part is behind you. But I ask that you consider that life becomes much less interesting when accomplishments are seen as destinations. When we feel we've arrived, our world gets smaller. Perhaps think of tonight's induction as a beginning. The highest state of learning occurs when we come to a task or circumstance with a beginner's mind. We can accomplish much when we ask questions and look for opportunities. Even as we welcome our new members, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our NHS class of 2021. Seniors, your service during these difficult circumstances will move beyond your immediate social circle in ways that you don't often even realize, creating waves that ripple out far past what you can see. According to our website, Maine West NHS seniors have contributed nearly 1,600 hours of service during these last 12 months, which is absolutely extraordinary, including one member who has performed over 100 hours of community service. In fact, these hours you've donated have advanced the United Nations global goals of education, justice, and well-being, which are so critical to building a kinder, more equitable society. Thank you for the positive impact you have made and the difference we know you will continue to make this semester and after graduation. You have been role models during these last months, and I am so proud of the ways that you have led and served. In the face of all that life has thrown at you, you have been strong and resilient, and we could not be prouder of you and who you've been for each other and for your community here at Maine West. This ends our official ceremony at this time, and so what we'd like the new members to do, and also current members, is to jump on the Zoom link that we've sent you through your email to find out who the new officers are for the class of 2022. Thanks so much.
So heartfelt congratulations again. Wanted to talk a little bit, the new members, obviously you didn't have the opportunity to walk across the stage, get your cords, things like that. Our plan is to make sure that we do that at some point before the end of the year. If it has to happen outside, we'll do it outside. If we're able to do it inside, we could do it inside, but we will have that opportunity so that you can, get your picture on stage, have your cords for graduation. Certainly those of you who are seniors for this year, and then those of you who are juniors for next year. We'll make sure that that happens. We don't know the date. We're going to kind of see what's going on with the virus and how all the mitigations are going, but we will make that happen at some point. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to toss it over to Miss Wisdom and once again, share my congratulations. I look forward to working with all of the new members, and I want to thank all of the current members as well for all your time and all the volunteer work that you've done for our community. Really, really means a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm going to let the officers take over here in just a second. I did want to let the members know that you will be, the new members especially, be receiving an invitation in your email tomorrow from Interview. It is our website where we keep the hours, track of the service hours. If you recall, I told you a little bit about it. You need to take a picture and record your hours on Interview in order to get credit for those. And again, you'll be performing about between 10 and 15 hours of community service this semester. All right, so that's something you want to watch out for. You'll be getting an email from them tomorrow. So now I'm going to turn it over to Daniel Vicens, who's going to announce your president for next year. And then I'll let Daniel introduce Sarosh and Madeline and Miguel, okay?
So just so you guys know, I'm going to highlight you. So be ready. You'll be spotlighted for everybody. So when you're speaking and when your name is announced, you will be spotlighted. So be prepared. Just wanted to let you know.
Mr. Aldworth, can you unmute Daniel?
There we go. Okay. Okay. So here's the moment we've all been waiting for, the officers. Everyone take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. And your future NHS president is Roshni Shah. There we go. Everyone, congrats, round of applause. Okay, and so as you know, as tradition, we all have like little gifts that we give the future officers and everything. So I'm going to start introducing the things that I got you. Usually you'd be on stage and you'd be, holding them up to the crowd, but it's a little different this year. So let me get the first thing. So my first thing I have is a bag that says, "Believe in yourself." I don't know if it's reversed. I think it might be flipped, but and so as the president of NHS, you want to have faith in your abilities, that you're making the right choices and that you're doing the best that you are for your whole group. It is a hard job. You're trying to speak for, 70 to 80 members in this club, and you're trying to make sure that everyone's voice is being heard. So make sure to believe in yourself, that whatever you do, that the decisions you make, you're going to make the right decisions and that you're going to have confidence in them. Okay. So I'm going to go into the bag. Let me start off with, let's start off with this. Okay. So I got an elephant. Okay. And so the elephant means wisdom, strength, and also good luck. And so, as the president, you want to have those qualities because you're going to be making big decisions. You're deciding what, acts of service your group is going to be doing and what you're going to be wanting to achieve in the whole year. It's a big responsibility, but it's really exciting. You know, I know the elephant means good luck and everything, but I have faith that you don't need luck. You're gonna do a great job anyways. Okay, next up, we'll do this one. Okay, so I got a candle, okay? It's apple cinnamon scent, just to let you know. It smells really good. And so I got the candle because as the president of NHS, you are going to be the light of the club. Everyone's going to look to you for leadership and direction. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten texts or emails of people trying to tell me or trying to ask me questions about what's happening, where's the meeting, what's this. And, you know, people are going to be looking to you to be giving them answers and be the person that they can look to and rely on. And that's, you know, that's awesome. It's really cool. And so, you know, I just want to say that when you light the candle, it's something that, you know, it means that you're going to be the leader for the group and that people can rely on you and they can look for you to find light. Okay. So next up, I have this. So I got a flower. It's not a real one. I wish it was. If we were in person, I definitely would have gotten you a real one. But, and so I did the flowers because they resemble growth. When you enter this job, you're not going to be perfect at it right away. It is very hard. And, you know, you're going to be presenting in front of 70 to 80 people trying to, you know, work it out and trying to figure out everything. And it is a little hard, you know, and that it's not going to be working out right from the start. Like you're going to have to take time and grow with it. And so just know that it does take time. But once you get it, you're still getting into the groove of it. And it's really fun once you get really going with it and you start, you know, doing the acts of service with people. And it's really fun to, you know, work together with people. Okay. And finally, my last item. And so last year, the president gave me this type of item. And so I got a mug, okay? As president, there's lots of early morning meetings you're gonna have, you know, there's lots. You want to drink some coffee sometimes just to wake you up, you know, it's a lot, you know, you're going to be waking up at probably like 7 a.m. You know, if we're back in person, probably maybe even earlier. It's big. And so last year the president had on the mug, it said, "Get it done." And so I think it really did apply to this year, that motto. I think, you know, this year it was very easy for us to just say, oh, COVID's happening, we don't have to do anything. But, you know, we tried our best and we've been looking for opportunities and we tried to get it done. This year, I thought I saw this mug and I'm like, I think this is the perfect, you know, words of advice for this year. And so it says, "Good things await." I don't know, it might be reversed, and so I think this year, I kind of mentioned it in my speech, but everything's so unknown, you know, everything in the future is so unknown. I mean, we don't even know what's going to be happening next week. But I think as long as you keep a positive mindset and think, you know, good things are going to be coming, that, you know, you are going to have a great year and you're going to achieve so much. Okay. And that is sorry if I was rambling a little bit. Okay. And so next up we have Vice President Sarosh Khan, who will be introducing the next year's Vice President.
Thanks, Daniel. That was awesome. Congratulations, Roshni.
Thank you. I'm so excited and looking forward to the next year.
All right, Sarosh, it's all on you, my friend.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so the vice president for this year, it was close. Everyone, you know, who did it had a real good chance of it. Everyone was really qualified. But this year, the person who won is Samantha Serden. I worked with Samantha Serden a bit sophomore year for mock trial, and this year I worked with her for Westerner, and you know, she really has a way of like brightening things up and keeping people optimistic. So I think she will do a great job as vice president. A couple of things to help you along the way. All right, so the first thing that's probably the biggest is like, it's this mousse. It's like really soft and it has like an afro. And I think it's like a cool mousse. When I was elected to be vice president, Malika got me, the previous vice president, she got me a blanket. And she said, because there are a lot of tough times ahead and you'll probably need something soft or something to comfort you. So yeah, I got a mousse. So like if you're having a hard day, you can like hug the mousse. And even more stuff for your comfort. I got you chocolate poutines. They don't expire, so you can probably get that eventually. I also got you Monopoly, but the Monopoly pieces are like chocolate. So it's like a game that you can play. You know, because life's a game and you're gonna have to figure things out, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it along the way. And the last thing I got you is a journal. Now, a lot of the times, journals, probably no one really uses them anymore, but I promise this next year is gonna be super hectic. You know, with college apps and running NHS. So yeah, you're gonna want to keep your thoughts organized, and yeah, I think it will help you a lot if you're actually able to keep up with stuff. And yeah, and I also got you the basket, so you can have the basket too.
Sarosh,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm so excited to be working with Roshni and the other officers too.
Congratulations, Samantha. That's awesome. All right, you want to hand it over? Who's next, Sarosh?
So we've got our secretary, Madeline Larson. Go, Madeline.
Hi. Thank you, Sarosh. Okay, for our next year's secretary, it is Andrew Shutheight. Yay. Congrats, Andrew. So for the gifts, starting off with kind of what Daniel said with the whole mug situation, there's going to be some late nights and you'll have to wake up early in the morning. So I got a mug and it says congrats on it. So every time you drink coffee from it, you can just think of this moment when you won National Honor Society. You earned it. You earned it. Along with that, for breakfast, I got you some Honey Nut Cheerios so you can start your morning off right of a long day ahead of you. I also got this bag. Everything was in this bag. I just got off, and it says, it's like a little tote bag. It says kindness matters, because this is really important. Kindness is obviously huge in National Honor Society, and it's just like good energy. I also got a little notepad, or like a notebook and pens, because as secretary, you take a lot of notes. You're like the communicator between Miss Wisdom and different organizations and all the other members. So you'll be like sending out emails and like taking notes from the meeting. So these will come in handy. Also, I also got a candle, because kind of what Daniel said, like you're the light. So people are gonna come to all the officers, but you especially, because you're going to be sending out the emails and doing everything, and people are just going to be like asking you questions, so they're going to come back to you for everything. I also got candy. After a long day, you can treat yourself. And I got a rock, because you rock. That was it. Congrats again. Congrats again.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with all the other officers and working for the society too.
Congratulations, Andrew. Thank you, Madeline. Yes, and I don't know how many times, Madeline, we email each other. It's got to be over 100 times this year, and you're the first name that comes up when I type M into the email recipients. And I don't know how many times I've said, Madeline, can you write this down? Because I don't remember everything. So she's been my eyes and ears, and the other officers have been amazing. So thanks, Madeline. All right, why don't you hand it over to our next officer?
Next up is Miguel, handing over the treasurer position.
Hold on, Miguel. He's gonna ask you to unmute in just a second, I think.
You see, I knew it. Everybody already wants me to shut up. I knew it.
There you go. You're good to go. We can hear you now.
Okay. Now, Mad Dog, you mentioned that I'm going to introduce the new treasurer. But now I hate to say I do have to bring some bad news. Hear me out. Hear me out. The treasurer position is no more. It's no more. It's gone. But I also come to you with some extremely good news. It's being replaced with something even better, and we have just the person for the role. And I'm glad to introduce our brand new position of the historian. And now this very special individual will help us manage our recruitment and our publicity, ensuring that the reach of our voice stretches far and wide. And the historian will also be in charge of our legacy projects, meaning they'll be responsible for guiding how we, as a National Honor Society chapter, choose to push our legacy here at Maine West far beyond our 4 short years here, which I'd argue are nowhere near enough. And not only that, but this historian will also guide how we choose to remember some of our most special warriors, including some we may have lost. And I do have to tell you, this individual comes very well recommended and is very talented. And I couldn't be happier to have her leading us on the team. And I'll stop babbling now, and I present to you your new historian, Farwa Hussein. It's very nice to have you here, Farwa. And now, in the spirit of our old positions, in the spirit of the old position of the treasurer, I remember that the treasurer before me, Zane, may he live a very nice life. I remember that he gave me a buried treasure as part of my gift. And so I thought I would bring you another treasure. And so first, I want to give you this part of the treasure. I'm not like the other people. I don't want to get you addicted to coffee. So instead of coffee, I got you hot chocolate of the abuelita, which I think you'd really like. As soon as I see you in person, I'll toss it to you as a frisbee. Well, the reason I gave you this is because obviously the historian position is going to require a lot of reflection on your part, especially when it comes to those legacy projects. And I think you'll be just right for the job, Farwa. Now, that also made me think about how you also want to stimulate your thinking as you're doing those reflections. And so I brought you something even better than bubble gum. I got you chiclosos, which frankly taste even better, and I think you'd love these too. And these will really get your noggin running, and it's even better than the gum. You know, with all those scientific studies that gum helps your thinking and all that stuff, I think this is even better. And of course, we've also got some spicy candy to make you really have some spice in your life, if you get what I mean, and really give an extra kick to your ideas. And now, as another part of the treasure, of course, I also wanted to give you this bear right here, this scholarly bear. And I think he would be a very nice partner for you once you're already in the historian position and you're in the office where we would have been. And he'll be right alongside you and helping you be the historian. And now, don't think I also didn't notice that the other officers had some items I think you could say are chic, like the chic bags saying you can do it, and all those really fashionable items. And so I wanted to get you the most chic item of all. I think you could definitely say it's chic. And it's my treasured rooster head. I bring this to every meeting. Oh. You see, you already want to wear it, Farwa. I know you already want to wear it. But now, I didn't just shoehorn this in. You see, Farwa, you're also going to be in charge of our publicity and our recruiting. And so in my experience, whenever I wear this chicken hat to school, I always get everybody's eyes on me. Everybody stares at me. I don't know why, but everybody does. I think this would be perfect for you, for your publicity efforts and your recruitment efforts. What do you think, Farwa?
I'm very thankful for everything you got me. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to work with all the other officers as well. Thank you.
It was no problem at all, Farwa. It was no problem at all.
I will attest that Miguel does wear it at the officer meetings, and it always, the minute he turns on his camera, the meeting just goes to the next level for sure. So, all right. Well, let's see. I think that pretty much ends it. Officers, I'll be reaching out to you soon. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and congratulations again. I'm looking forward to the ceremony in the spring. And I will be calling a whole group meeting soon. Also, if you are artistic and you are interested in designing our NHS t-shirts for next year, if you would reach out to me by email, we need to think about a t-shirt. So let me know if you have any ideas, if you want to be on that committee, and you can present your ideas to the group and we will choose a shirt for next year. All right. Thank you everybody so much. Thank you, Mr. Aldworth, for making this happen. Appreciate your time, everyone. Have a great evening.
I hope you have a very nice night, Ms. Wisdom, and everybody.
You too.
And a
Mr.
nice-
Aldworth, can you unmute everybody so we can all say goodnight? Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Good night.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck, Farwa.
Bye.
And Rosini Linguini.
Hace 2 años en Kosciuszko.
Congratulations, everybody. Good night.